Do liminal spaces always have to be so creepy? Why do these places in transition always have to be so uncanny, disturbing, unnerving? I think liminal spaces can be very peaceful, calming even. I mean, take this place for instance. It's the penultimate section in the first portal. It has all the hallmarks of your classic liminal space. These places are commonly empty or abandoned places, appearing eerie, forlorn, and often surreal. Staircases, hallways, empty rooms, and no humans in sight, only a few remnants. Even the lighting is quite reminiscent of those dreamcore pictures, but it doesn't creep me out. Not in the slightest. It gives me this afternoon vibe, the same feeling you'd get taking one of those after-school naps following a long day at school. The orange glow is warm and inviting, telling me, hey, you can take a break. You're safe here. Yet I'm alone. GLaDOS the AI isn't watching me anymore. In fact, nobody is. I'm here in a place that hasn't been touched in years. The setting isn't an anomaly. No, I am the anomaly. Is there an unknown reverse side to liminal spaces? With all these levels, monsters, and creepypastas surrounding the backrooms or other classic pieces of liminal space media, perhaps we've distorted the concept of liminality. Perhaps they don't exist at a boundary in space alone, but also in emotion, the boundary between comfort and fear, and thus portraying one or the other. So while one showcases terror, maybe there are some that evoke an entirely opposite feeling while using the same phenomenon. But why does nobody seem to talk about this? Half-Life is one of my favorite franchises. I really love the first game. It's full of liminal spaces, and there are plenty of videos covering these odd and unremarkable locations in the game. This section here is one I always look forward to revisiting. It really drives home how massive this facility is, and how lonesome the game can often feel. There's just a popping of toxic sludge around you, and you need to navigate through all these rooms to continue with the story. It's a section where you won't hear a lot from anyone. It's just you and your thoughts. I think a lot of the outdoor sections of Black Mesa also capture that same essence. Or perhaps these giant boxes. If you look down, there is just a huge void under you, reminding you how tiny you are in this labyrinth of a workplace. But none of this evokes fear or existentialism. To me, that loneliness is a source of comfort, not terror. Kind of like a silent night. You can just sit and observe for a bit. It's not likely that you'll be back here for a while, so why not explore? Who knows what's around the corner? It's almost like I'm savoring this place that I've ventured to. As though I've made a secret discovery. But maybe you return to it and it looks a little different. Distorted. But like you're looking at something you're used to seeing one way from a different side. It's like that one dream you've had of a place you know, but now there's an extra door that isn't meant to be there, that takes you down a labyrinth. Half-Life Opposing Force, as an expansion to the original game, reinterprets many of its iconic levels, having you explore the once inaccessible areas in great depth. Early on into the campaign, you see Gordon Freeman vanish into the Zen portal. In the original Half-Life, this marks the start of the last section of the playthrough. However, in Opposing Force, you're not even midway through. For this reason, exploring these empty parts of Black Mesa feels like a break from the action. As if the world is moving at one pace and you're tuning it all out. You're not the main character here, but you're still discovering something that you couldn't have in the first game. Something that feels almost ethereal. It's not quite forbidden, but it's a secret discovery nonetheless. These expansions are considered canons of the game, and so these newer parts of the facility feel like something that was always there, waiting to be discovered. It's like revisiting your elementary school. The classrooms feel a bit smaller, and you notice things that you never did as a kid. Liminal spaces are often thought of as aberrations of once familiar places. But some don't necessarily change anything. They just expand on what's already there. Liminality not only exists at the threshold of setting, but in something more psychological. They can often inhabit the boundary of experience itself. Perhaps an image evoked something that captured the essence of your childhood, and the eeriness or nostalgia that arises from that comes from the separation that you now have with that time in your life. In many ways, you're looking at a part of yourself, or what was once yourself, when visiting these environments. In recent years, various ARGs, analog horror projects, and liminal space photography have found their home in Minecraft. Although, once again, we tend to only pay attention to the overtly terrifying aspects of the game in doing so. Herobrine, the loneliness of old game versions, and ARGs. We forget the deeply personal worlds, the psychological liminal spaces. Minecraft's simplistic and creative nature lends itself well to creating such a psychological threshold. A world that can hold so much about who you used to be and what you aspire to become. Revisiting those places can often be like speaking to a younger version of yourself. You found out things you had forgotten and maybe preferred to forget. At the same time, you have that sense of wonder with something new to discover. Maybe you'll find a completely hidden part of your friend's base, an extensive and elaborate tunnel system, a secret build, an off-putting little base in the middle of nowhere, seemingly random, almost inhuman. Something that was so integral to you still holds so many mysteries. And because of that, revisiting these Minecraft worlds, you rediscover a lost part of yourself. There are countless more examples one can bring. But still, I felt like no matter how many examples I raised, I couldn't crack the case. Why are we so drawn to the horrors of liminal spaces? Why do we forget the other elements? Sure, we may find a picture, a place, or a game nostalgic, but we rarely call that liminal. Why are we so terrified of emptiness? Being alone? I think liminal spaces reveal a big sense of loss, a common reaction to the world around us. Again, it's not that these places harbor greater horrors, it's the fact that we're scared of ourselves. We're scared of what we've abandoned, and our capacity to forget. These games hold memories of a past life, a simpler time. It's scary to think that it's all behind us. Liminal spaces simply hold up a mirror. They show us a memory that isn't quite like how we remember it, but in truth, it's exactly the same. It's our eyes that have become stained with the passage of time. Like I said before, we are the anomaly. So, I think I'm wrong. I don't think it's the fact that we ignore these elements. I just think we've made a conscious choice to forget these places. We march forward with our everyday lives, our optimized routines, 9-to-5 jobs, and in doing so, we forget the simpler things. I think liminal spaces just remind us to tune it all out, to appreciate the beauty of the ordinary. It's daunting, scary even, to confront all that, to accept that invitation. But on the other side, there's something incredibly peaceful. Something forgotten.